Good afternoon everyone. Myself Dr. Sejal Gamit. Today I am going to discuss about apoptosis. So objectives of my lectures are, at the end of the lecture you are able to define what is apoptosis, to describe difference between necrosis and apoptosis, and to describe mechanism of apoptosis. So what is the definition of apoptosis? It is also called programmed cell death. It is a pathway of cell death in which cells destined to die activate its own enzyme that degrade the cell's own nuclear DNA and nuclear and cytoplasmic proteins. The fragments of apoptic cell then break off, giving the appearance that is responsible for the name of apoptosis, that is falling off. One thing in the apoptosis is that the plasma membrane of the apoptic cell remain intact, but the structure of membrane is altered in such a way that the cell and its fragment become target for phagocytes. The dead cell and its fragment are rapidly cleared off before cellular content leaked out. So, in apoptotic death, it does not initiate any inflammatory reaction in the host. So, what is the difference between necrosis and apoptosis? The main difference is the cellular size. In case of necrosis, there is enlargement of the cell, there is a cellular swelling, while in case of apoptosis, there is shrinkage of cell size. In the nucleus, in the necrosis, there are changes like pycnosis, karyorrhexis and karyolysis, while in case of apoptosis, there is fragmentation of nucleus. In case of plasma membrane, in necrosis, there is disruption of plasma membrane, while in case of apoptosis, the plasma membrane remain intact. Another change is, in case of necrosis, due to the disruption of the plasma membrane, the cellular content leaked out, so it may initiate inflammatory reaction in the surrounding tissue, while in case of apoptosis, due to the intake of plasma membrane, there is no leakage of cellular content, so there is absence of inflammation in the apoptosis. The main difference between necrosis and apoptosis. Another feature is necrosis is always pathological, while the apoptosis may be physiological or may be pathological. So here is the finding. We all know that this is the normal cell. And when there is presence of abnormal stimulus, it may cause reversible injury to the cells. Okay, reversible injury, the changes of reversible injury are cellular swelling. But if the stimulus is removed, at this stage, the injury may be reversible. But if the stimulus persists for a longer duration, it may cause progressive cell injury, that is termed as cell death. In case of necrosis, you can easily see, due to the disruption of plasma membrane, there is leakage of cellular content, which may initiate inflammatory reaction. While in case of apoptosis, you can easily see on exposure to the stimulus, there is certain changes in the cell that include condensation of the chromatin and formation of nuclear blebs, which are the morphological alteration. And on subsequent, there is formation of fragmentation of the cells. It may cause formation of apoptic body. Now what is apoptic body? It contains cytosols, organelles as well as fragmented portion of the nucleus. And ultimately, this apoptic body are removed by phagocytes. So, what is apoptosis in the physiological situation? Why apoptosis occur in the physiological situation? Why it is necessary? It is the death of apoptosis in a normal phenomena that serves to eliminate the cells that are no longer needed. Why it is needed to remove this cell? Because it is mandatory to maintain a constant number of cells of various types in the tissue. Certain examples of the physiological apoptosis include the programmed destruction of cell during embryogenesis, involution of hormone-dependent tissue upon hormone deprivation, elimination of the cells that are served their usefulness, example as in cell injury, elimination of potentially harmful self-reactive lymphocyte. Why it is necessary to remove the self-reactive lymphocyte? Because if you do not remove the self-reactive lymphocyte, it may become the cause for autoimmune disease. And final is the cell that induced by the cytotoxic T lymphocytes. Now, apoptosis occur in several pathological conditions. Which are the pathological conditions? Or what is pathological apoptosis? Apoptosis eliminates the cell that are genetically altered or injured beyond repair and does so without eliciting a severe host reaction, any inflammatory reaction, thereby keeping the extent of tissue damage to a minimum. So certain examples of the pathological apoptosis include DNA damage, accumulation of misfolded protein, both of these which can lead to neoplastic transformation of the tissue. So to prevent the neoplastic transformation, pathological apoptosis is necessary. Another example is the cell injury in the certain viral infection. Okay. In this figure you can easily see there are certain cells which have condensed nucleus and the nucleus become fragmented, which are the apoptic cells. Now, what is the mechanism of apoptosis? The main mechanism that is necessary for apoptosis is the activation of enzyme that is called caspase. Now, the activation of caspase mainly depend on the balance between two proteins, that is pro and anti-apoptic protein. There are two different pathways for the activation of apoptosis, that is mitochondrial pathway and death receptor pathway. So we will see first the mitochondrial or intrinsic pathway. Now, why it is called intrinsic pathway? Because the pathway is originated inside the cell, mostly in the mitochondria. So it is called intrinsic pathway. So what occurs? Normally, the mitochondria, cytoplasm and membrane contain several proteins that are capable of inducing apoptosis. The protein that is capable of inducing apoptosis is cytochrome C, and certain other proteins that neutralize the inhibitor of apoptosis like BCL2 and BCL-XL. Now, the choice between the cell survival and death is determined by the permeability of the mitochondria, which is maintained by two proteins, that is BCL2 and BCL-XL. When the cells are deprived of certain growth factors and other survival signals, or are exposed to agents that damage DNA or accumulate unacceptable amount of misfolded protein, a number of stress sensors are activated. One of these stress sensors are BS3 protein. That BS3 protein that consists of BIM, BIT and BAD are activated. So when these BS3 protein are activated, they in turn activate two other pro-apoptic protein, that is BAX and BAC. What is the purpose of BAX and BAC? They will form pores in the mitochondrial membrane. So mitochondria become leaky, and through the pore, cytochrome C escape through the pore into the cytoplasm. Okay. So there is leakage of cytochrome C into the cytoplasm. Apart from leakage through the channel, this sensor also inhibit the anti-apoptic protein like BCL2 and BCL-XL. Remember, what is the function of BCL and BCL-XL? It prevent the permeability of the mitochondria. So by inhibiting this, BAX and BAC will further enhances the leakage of mitochondrial proteins. Now, the cytochrome C, which is leaked out into the cytoplasm, now combine with certain cofactors like apoptotic activating factor 1. By combining with this, it activates a series of enzymes. Most common is the caspase 9. Okay, so it activates caspase 9, which is also called as an initiator caspase. Now, initiator caspase 9 will then followed by activate another caspase like 6 and 3, and which ultimately lead to apoptosis. Okay, this is the pathway, mitochondrial pathway of apoptosis. In normal cell, you can easily see in the viable cell, in the presence of growth factor or survival stimulus, the mitochondria have BCL2 and BCL-XL in the cytoplasm in the membrane, okay, which prevent the leakage of cytochrome C into the cytoplasm. Okay, but what occur in the apoptosis, or what occur when the lack of survival signals, or when there is a radiation or DNA damage? There are certain type of sensors that are activated, BS3 only proteins that consist of BIM, BIT and BAD. Now these three will ultimately activate backs and back. What is the function of backs and back? They will form channel in the mitochondria through which the cytochrome C escape into the cytoplasm. Apart from these, backs and back also inactivate BCL2 and BCL-XL. So it further enhances the apoptic activity. And the leaked out cytochrome C combine with other protein and causes activation of caspases, which ultimately lead to apoptosis. This is the main pathway, mitochondrial pathway. Another pathway is the death receptor pathway or the extrinsic pathway. Why it is called extrinsic pathway? Because the stimulus is from the outside, not inside the cells. Now, many cell expresses surface molecule, that is also called as surface receptors. One of them is death receptor. The most common death receptor involved in the extrinsic pathway are the TNF receptor, tumor necrosis factor receptor, and the FAS, that is first apoptic signal receptor. Okay, these receptors are present in case of in the cells that is infected by the viruses or tumor cells. So, and there are certain fast ligand protein that is present on the surface of the T lymphocyte. So, when this T cytotoxic T lymphocyte containing fast ligament recognize the TNF receptor or fast receptor on the infected cell, there is cross link between the fast ligand and fast receptor, and through this the adaptor protein bind with the death domain and ultimately lead to activation of caspase 8. And caspase 8 in turn lead to activation of the another caspase, that is 3 and 6, and lead to death of the cell. One point in the death receptor pathway is sometimes the caspase 8 also lead to activation of BEAT protein. Remember the BEAT protein which causes activation of backs and back, okay, and it will further enter into the or further feeding into the mitochondrial pathway. So this is the example of pathway of extrinsic pathway. Normally the fast ligand is present on the cytotoxic T lymphocyte. When cytotoxic T lymphocyte encounter fast receptor on the surface of virus infected cell or the tumor cell, there is a cross linkage between the fast ligand and fast receptor. While the fast receptor also contain intracellular death domain. So, when there is cross linkage between the fast ligand and fast receptor, the death domain causes recruitment of the fast associated death domain. Now, this all complex will finally causes autocatalysis of the procaspace 8, which activate caspase 8, and this is followed by activation of the executioner caspases, that is 6 and 3, and which ultimately lead to apoptosis. So, what is the activation and function of this caspase? The mitochondria and death receptor pathway lead to activation of the initiator caspase, that is caspase 9 in the mitochondrial pathway and caspase 8 in the death receptor pathway, which are the initiator caspase. Now, active form of this enzyme are produced and this cleave and thereby activate another series of caspase that are called executioner caspase. The executioner caspase in both the pathway are 3 and 6. Now, how the caspase will lead to apoptosis? This activated caspase cleave numerous targets, lead to activation of nuclease. Now, what is the function of nuclease? Nuclease, it causes degradation of DNA and nuclear protein. Caspase also causes degradation of the component of nuclear matrix and cytoskeleton. So, caspase causes activation of the nucleus, and this nucleus will degrade the DNA as well as cytoskeleton of the cell, leading to fragmentation of the cells. Now, how this fragmented cell cleared off? How the clearance of apoptic cell occur? Normally, the phosphatidylserine is a phospholipid that is present in the inner leaflet of the plasma membrane. But what occurs in the apoptosis? There is a flipping of this phosphatidylserine, which is situated on the outer leaflet, which is recognized by the tissue macrophages, and this tissue macrophages lead to phagocytosis, of this apoptic cell. This is how the apoptic cells are removed by the tissue macrophages. This is the diaphragmatic representation of the pathway, mitochondrial and the death receptor pathway. Okay, mitochondrial pathway, we have already seen, it is called intrinsic because the stimulus is inside the cells. There is certain DNA damage in the cells or ER stress, there is accumulation of misfolded protein, okay, or the growth factor withdrawal. This all causes activation of the mitochondrial pathway. So what occurs? When there is cell injury by this substance, we have already seen that there are two proteins, that is BCL2 and BCLXL, which is present in the mitochondrial membrane, which prevent leakage of cytochrome C. Okay. So when there is cell injury, it will cause activation of BH3 only protein, that is BIM, BID and BED, which activate BAX and BAC, which causes pore in the membrane of the mitochondria, through which cytochrome C leaked out into the cytoplasm. Another thing is the BAX and BAC also inhibit this BCL2 and BCLXL, thus further enhancing the permeability of the mitochondria. Now this leaked out cytochrome C will activate initiator caspase. Remember, the initiator caspase in mitochondrial pathway is 9. Okay. Now, what is the death receptor pathway? We have already seen that when Fas ligand that is present on the T lymphocyte bind with the Fas receptor or TNF receptor on the infected cell or the tumor cell, it will then bind with the adaptor protein and lead to activation of initiator caspase. Okay, that is 8 in case of death receptor pathway, which lead both of these mitochondrial and death receptor pathway lead to activation of executioner pathway, that is 3 and 6. Now this caspase will lead to activation of endonuclease, and the endonuclease will causes breakage of the nucleus as well as cytoskeleton protein. So the cell is fragmented, and these fragmented cells are finally ultimately removed by the or phagocytosed by the macrophages. This is again the death receptor pathway. Here you can see the Fas ligand, which is present on the cytotoxic T lymphocytes, and Fas receptor, that is also termed as CD95, which is present on the infected viral cell or the tumor cells. When these two combine, another thing is Fas receptor also contain that domain. Okay. So when Fas ligand combine with the Fas receptor, it will cause this recruitment of Fas associated dead domain, which finally combine with the dead domain of the Fas receptor. So this entire complex, death-induced signal cascade, will activate procaspase 8, and this procaspase 8 activate caspase 8. These are initiator caspase followed by activation of executioner caspase, that is 3 and 6. Okay, and this ultimately lead to activation of endonuclease and followed by apoptosis or removal of this cell by apoptosis. Now one thing, in which situation death receptor pathway is activated, mainly CD95 receptor or death receptor pathway are used in case of tumor cells and in case of virus infected cells. Okay, why this is necessary? Why it is needed that the tumor cells or viral infected cell undergo apoptosis? Because if the tumor cells undergo apoptosis, it decreases the cellular proliferation. So it decreases the process of neoplastic transformation. And the another thing is infected virus cell. The cells are died or killed by the apoptosis. But the only infected cells are died by the apoptosis. So it prevents the spread of infection to the neighbor cells. Okay, so it is an advantage of apoptosis. Now we will see the certain example of apoptosis. Whenever there is deprivation of the growth factor, the cell may undergo apoptosis, like hormone sensitive cells that is deprived of relevant hormone. If the cells do not meet the hormone, do not have the hormone that is it required for the further functioning, the cell may ultimately undergo apoptosis. And the lymphocytes that are not stimulated by the antigens and cytokines, and the neurons that do not receive or that deprived of nerve growth factor are died by apoptosis. DNA damage. This is the example of pathological apoptosis. Normally what occurs? When there is exposure of cells to radiation or chemotherapeutic agent, it induces DNA damage. What occurs in the normal situation? When the DNA is damaged, the p53 protein accumulate in the cells. Now what is p53? It is also called as guardian of genome. What it causes, when there is damage in the DNA, it first arrests the cell cycle. That it arrests the cell cycle at the G1 phase to allow the DNA to be repaired before it is applicated. So p53 causes repair of the DNA before it is replicated. But however, if the damage is too great to be repaired successfully, p53 ultimately triggers apoptosis of these DNA damaged cells. But what occurs in the cancerous condition? When p53 is mutated or absent, most commonly occur in the certain cancers, the cells with damaged DNA that would otherwise undergo apoptosis now will survive because there is no 53. So what occurs in this cell? In such cell, the damaged DNA may persist and may lead to neoplastic transformation of the tissue. This is the main mechanism for the cancerous condition, neoplastic transformation of any tissue. Another pathological example of apoptosis is the accumulation of misfolded protein. So what occurs? Whenever there is excessive stress like ultraviolet light, heat, free oxygen, free radical injury, hypoxia, it will cause this accumulation of misfolded protein. Now, normally what occurs? There is increased synthesis of chaperones. What is chaperones? They cause this repair of this misfolded protein. This is the one pathway, the protein get repaired. Another pathway is there is decreased translation of the protein, and ultimately if these two pathways are failed, there is degradation of this misfolded protein by the proteasome, ubiquitin proteasome pathway. But when all these pathways are not in work, finally this unfolded protein are removed by the function of apoptosis. Due to the activation of caspases, whenever this unfolded protein are accumulated inside the cell, these cells are ultimately removed by the process of apoptosis. Now, apoptosis of the self-reactive lymphocytes. We already know that the lymphocytes are capable of recognizing self-antigen and normally present in all individuals like CD4 and CD8 cells. Now, failure of the apoptosis of self-reactive lymphocyte is one of the major cause for autoimmune disease. So, removal of apoptosis of self-reactive lymphocyte is necessary. Otherwise, it may lead to autoimmune disease. Now, apart from the mitochondrial and death receptor pathway, there is another pathway for the apoptosis, that is cytotoxic T lymphocyte mediated pathway. What occurs in this pathway? Normally the cytotoxic T lymphocyte recognize foreign antigen that is present on the surface of infected host cell or the tumor cell. We all know that what is the function of cytotoxic T cell? It will directly kill the cells. And which are the cells that get killed by the cytotoxic T cell? That are the infected cell either by the viruses or it may also directly kill the tumor cells. So what occurs? When there is presence of infected viral cell or tumor cells, cytotoxic T cell will recognize these cells. Now what cytotoxic T cell will do? Cytotoxic T cell will release perforin. Now what is the function of this perforin? This perforin create pore in the membrane of the infected cell and through which another enzyme that is termed as granenzyme, again released by the cytotoxic T cell, will enter into the infected cell. So what is the function of this granenzyme? The granenzyme which is released by cytotoxic T cell into the infected cell now will cause this activation of the caspase, or it will directly kill the target cell. These are my references.